self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point. And we are Conversation Con Artists back for another fantastic episode. You ain't nobody special?
It's too early in the morning. I couldn't think of nothing.
So we doing this show real early because I'm about to go out of town. And so we trying to get, this show done. So if we're lacking the energy, it's because it's the morning time. And my voice sounds a little different. It's because this Alabama sickness is, I think, finna get me the way it got her. It get her every time, but it's get me a lot, but I think it's finna get me.
And it's not my fault. You didn't get it from me.
How you know?
Because you did get it from me.
How you know?
I just know. Those aren't my germs.
You don't know that?
I do know. It's not my germs.
You just assuming.
No, it's not my germs.
As slow as this thing has developed, this could have came from anywhere at any time. And 7 days ago sound like it might have
that's how
been the origin story.
Because now I've relapsed. And my cough that came back. It's a slow shit. Like, whatever it is, it's slow to come on and you can't get rid of this shit. It's fucking ridiculous.
Get rid of that motherfucker.
Good luck.
Anyway, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener alert portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationcallartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Call Artists, and hit us up that way. I think we only have one letter this week.
We do.
All right.
This is from Cat Jack.
Sorry.
We finna deal with that cough.
The moose. He
That's
said I sound like a moose.
Her cough sound like a moose when she got this laugh cough thing. It sound like not the cough itself. Some of it do, but this laugh cough thing there it is. There it is. I mean, timing couldn't have been better.
Oh, Jesus. Cat Jack.
We should just name the show Two Sick Niggas this week. You sicker than me, though.
I am. Because I done had it longer. This shit is like, it's like student loans. You think you pay it down and then you look at your balance and it's like, God damn, I ain't nowhere near paying that shit off.
Your DNA pool also determined that you was just going to be sick a lot over your whole life. I
have a really weak immune system. Part of it is because I have fibromyalgia and it's like an autoimmune thing. I almost had to repeat third grade because I got chickenpox and it fucked me all the way up. Like, kids get chickenpox and you stay out a little while, you go. I got sick as fuck when I had chickenpox, so I missed like 3 weeks of school. But I was smart enough where they didn't hold me back. But
me and my brother barely get sick, and I legit go back and think of all the shit my grandma used to make us do. She used to make us drink cod liver oil, take Flintstone vitamins, and this was back in the late 80s, early 90s. So ain't no telling what kind of experimental shit Flintstones was putting in them them pills.
Was so nasty. They were so like chalky, grainy, something that
they were horrible.
We had to take them, and I guess they thought kids was gonna think it was fun because they were shaped like the fucking Flintstone. But when it tastes like dirt, like it ain't exciting no more. Like, I hated taking them shit.
But my grandma was so slick, man. Anytime, because when she first started to get us to take them, we wouldn't take them. It's like we would throw them away and stuff. And somehow she would always know. It don't matter how we did. If we put it under the napkin, I don't know how she knew. I guess she's an adult, so I imagine the time that it would take to chew and all that stuff. We didn't know how to calculate all that. The only thing I didn't try is hiding it between my butt cheeks.
I can't. Why would you?
What you mean?
You weren't in prison. Who thinks of that? Don't nobody but people in prison.
All I was trying to do was not eat the Flintstone vitamin.
But why that seem extreme?
I'm just saying I tried every other way of getting rid of it except for that. And I don't know if that would have worked. Because if she would have still believed that I didn't do it and said, where is it? Where is the pill? And I pulled it from between my butt cheeks, then Now I have a different life. I probably start getting beatings from that moment. You know how old people deal with gay
Oh
kids,
God,
gay
yes.
grandkids. I would be
Jesus.
getting beat
Yep.
soon as she tell granddaddy.
You be getting put in all kind of shit too.
Exactly. My life would be
Sports.
way different.
Yeah.
I probably would end up gay. Out of spite.
Hell no. Cat Jack. Sorry, Cat.
This is my first letter. I love the show. You get me through my early mornings and my work commutes, so thank you. I want to start by saying that although I agree with a lot of Mr. On Point says, there are times where I'm like, no, not at all. Then Red comes and says exactly what I'm thinking. I enjoy your co-host dynamic.
Yay.
I also want to comment on the lotion topic. I'm guilty of not telling grown people when they're ashy. If I see them, I know you see it, and you may even see me seeing it, but you're grown enough to make the decision that you don't care about being ashy, and so I'm not going to care enough to tell you, particularly if you're in the comfort of your own home. Now, if your feet are ashy, for instance, and you're about to walk out the door with me, then it becomes an us issue. We are now a unit, and your ash is my ash, and people would think, now, why she let her walk out like that? Now I'm a bad friend, family member, or partner. Furthermore, if I saw a lady friend ashy, I'd probably offer her lotion because this is such a rare occurrence that I'd be concerned, and I'd assume they'd appreciate me noticing their dry and offering to help. I know I would appreciate it, but an ashy guy is more common, so I don't feel propelled to do the same unless I know that he usually isn't dry. But if I see that you're just regularly ashy and don't give a fuck, then I won't bother. Side note, Gold Bond is the best lotion. I don't know why I always thought Gold Bond was something for old people.
Because the commercials used to be really catered towards that, but they make different kind of lotion. I've been on the Aveeno train personally myself because I have eczema, and so like I get patches of really dry skin, and the Gold Bond makes a cream specifically for that, but the Aveeno has helped. So, but yeah, Gold Bond was catered. I mean, it was marketed towards old people, like the commercials. Okay. But yeah.
One more thing. I have to comment on this topic being that I'm bisexual. Bisexuals in the LGBTQIA community are generally frowned upon. If I tell a lesbian that I'm bisexual, she'll be hesitant to give me a chance. Most lesbians don't date bisexuals, period. The stereotype is that we don't know what we want. Girls were hurt by a girl who left them for a guy who didn't take their relationship as seriously, so now there's resentment towards us all. I just find it funny how women I know call themselves lesbian end up with a man or a baby by one. I'd personally rather date someone who is truly themselves than someone who claims not to like the opposite sex, but it turns out that they do. Some people just choose to not identify with a label, but I'm bisexual by definition, and I choose to advocate for us. That being said, I have not had the same experience with men. They seem to be more accepting of my sexuality.
Because they're pigs.
And speaking of definitions, if you're sexually attracted to the opposite sex, then you're gay. That's as simple as it gets. If you're sexually attracted to both sexes, then you're bisexual.
I think she meant the same sex.
If you're sexually attracted to both sexes, then you're bisexual.
No, before that.
If you're sexually attracted to the opposite sex, then you're to the same sex, then you're gay.
Yeah.
If you're attracted to both sexes, then you're bisexual. A man who has sex with a man but isn't sexually attracted to men is not gay. He could do the act by force, confusion, or loneliness without actually being attracted to men. A man who has sex with a woman but is not sexually attracted to women but is to men is not straight. If a man who was sexually attracted to men when he was 20 but not now when he's 40, then he was gay but now he's not. Now he's just saying he's not attracted to them but he really is, then he's gay/bisexual and lying. And for some reason, it's common to call women who like women straight if they say they'll never be in a relationship with another woman. Girl, you're bi. Also, avoiding wet leaves is weird. Additionally, The Notebook is my favorite movie. Great synopsis. One more thing. My career is based on the fact that people can change. So depending on the detrimental impact that a person has made due to their behavioral choices, I believe they should be forgiven. For example, Kevin Hart for the gay remarks, but not for the adultery. Cat Jack.
So, through this random occurrence, because this all started with like a conversation I had with Cole Jackson that I brought on the show, I've learned a lot about bisexual folks, more than what I knew. So, and I appreciate both her and Mike from the UK because they both shared their experiences. I kind of knew that about about bisexuals and the LGBTQ community because I've had some clients that were bisexual who discussed that because yeah, they're frowned upon, which is so weird to me. But they are by like full on lesbians or gay men. So that's always been very interesting to me. It's just so funny. It's like no matter what you are, there are going to be other groups of people that you're going to have a problem with. Like I got a client who is Panamanian and white, and she said, I was very surprised to find out that at least for her family, Panamanians think that Mexicans are like the worst shit ever. Like
Puerto Ricans too.
It's just so it's like no matter what group you are in, there's going to be like an adversarial relationship with some other group. It's just funny to me how humans work. I know the wet leaves thing is weird. I acknowledge and accept that, but it is what it is. I parked in the front of your building again. Like I'm gonna just do that from now on because I'm not walking on them shits. And like it keep fucking raining, so they're continuously wet, and I'm just not even gonna bother no more.
That's weird.
I can't deal with it. I told you women knew about the Notebook. So women have already decided what they would do in the case of somebody having dementia and not remembering. Anybody that's seen the Notebook have had to think about that for themselves because it makes you think like, what would I do if my significant other couldn't remember me no more?
While I was reading, you said guys are pigs.
Oh yeah, I did.
You stay dragging me into your
I'm
bullshit,
not, I'm
huh? Goddamn. Like how much price? I guess I gotta pay the price.
Not every man, but it's.
But see, I can't say that though.
What?
I can't say not all of us. I can't say that because if I say that now, I just look like a dickhead.
But it's not all of y'all. But I will say I have met some ridiculously homophobic men, and their homophobia only applies to gay men. Because lesbians or bisexual women is who she like, girl. Like it's a whole fucking different thing, and it's like, my nigga, that's still they're homosexual, like, or they're like it's still different.
But that's because the true inherent reason that men have an issue with homosexuality is because it challenges what we call masculinity.
Yeah,
femininity doesn't have a stake in that battle at all.
Yeah.
I mean, feminine men define like if you're gay, you're feminine to men.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's like all that's on the same rung. If you're a woman that dates a woman, that's just still all in the umbrella of feminine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not challenging what we are told to uphold as men. Like I told you earlier, if my granddaddy or grandmama would have suspected that I was gay, I don't know what would have happened, but it wouldn't have been good for me.
They would have did what Kevin Hart said in them tweets.
He gonna bust me in the head with a dollhouse, but I wouldn't have a dollhouse. My granddaddy was a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already
hyper masculine.
He was hyper masculine, but like not overt. Like my granddad, it was the kind of dude that commanded respect by how he existed. Like the way that he stood,
mm-hmm.
the way that he spoke. He didn't have to say no hyper masculine shit. He just was a man,
mm-hmm.
a manly dude. Because the grandparents that I meet today, it's like they have to show the world that they are masculine.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like that alpha male shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there is alpha male and there is like fucking perpetrating alpha. Like an alpha male, an actual alpha male don't got to do shit special. He just get followed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if you just think about the tribes and packs, They don't. The biggest line don't have to be like, "Hey, everybody, I'm a murder." Like Scar wanted to be the alpha,
And he
but
talked that shit and
he
fucked it
won.
up. Nope.
Mufasa was just that nigga. That's just how it was. That's how it was. Mufasa didn't do nothing special. He didn't yearn for power. He just had that component.
Yeah.
But you got a whole bunch of dudes out here who was just, they got a show that they master. Like, let's arm wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that's usually to cover up some kind of insecurity. Like my cousin is dating a guy who before I met him, she kept saying like he's so arrogant, he's such an alpha male. And I met him and I was like, that nigga insecure as fuck. What are you talking about? Like, no he ain't. I was like, that he perpetrating as fuck. There's nothing secure in him having to constantly say he's this and he's that. Like that's insecurity to me. So she was buying it. Like she was like, "Oh, he's so arrogant," and I was like, "No, he ain't. He is extremely insecure in who he is." Part of that is because I saw like he's mixed. He has a family of very attractive people, and he's like the least attractive person. And he used to be chubby. And so I think that garnered some insecurity in him. And he ain't chubby now, but you know how that stuff just kind of, unless you process through it, it just stays with you. So like his answer to that was once he lost weight to just be, he became a police officer, and he talked about his all the things he used to do in the streets before he became a police officer. And it's like, first of all, he talking about how he used to deal drugs and shit. He wouldn't be no fucking police officer if that was the case. Because ain't nobody gonna go from the fast money of drug dealing to $35,000 a year.
He probably over exaggerating. He probably sold his fucking anxiety medications twice.
Well, now his family is hood as fuck. His mom, his brother, and his sister in and out of the jail up there all the time. So they bout that life.
That means his mama sold his anxiety medicine two or three times. That's what that means.
Yeah. They're about that life. He ain't. There's nothing. But my cousin is very suburban, right? So she hasn't really had access to like actual hood people. So like if somebody like says they're hood, she buys it. And I like when I met him, I was like, who gonna buy drugs from this nigga? He looked like a narc. Like he looked like somebody who set you up. I don't know if you've seen those videos of it's a guy pretending that he got a wire on, and he's like, so today we are here to talk about the cocaine that we sell. And so everybody's like, the fuck? He's like, Jimmy, you sold the most cocaine this month, so tell us about
Haven't seen that.
It's fucking hilarious. But he that dude, so yeah, I can see the whole perpetrating being alpha. Like alpha males don't have to say the shit.
Man, that's what I was saying, like about my granddad. Like he just
exists.
That nigga sitting on the porch just cutting the apple, that shit just looked like some shit a grown man supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that, you don't have that. It's just some people that ain't meant to be alphas.
Big dick energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like some people ain't meant to have it. So if that was, I don't know what would have happened. You know, considering that he wasn't that hyper masculine and didn't have to overcompensate for things that he didn't feel was masculine.
Yeah.
But I tell you now, my mama would have prayed all the demons out of my booty.
You'd have been doused in oil. I don't know if she used oil.
She used the oil. She put a little cross on our heads while she's
pulled
speaking in tongues in the kitchen.
Pulled the whole bottle over your head. It'd have been bad. You'd have been oily. You wouldn't have been ashy though.
And you know what? This made me think of a situation. This dude we used to know, my mama had a friend named Gloria. And Gloria used to bring her son Donnell over to the house. And Donnell was like the equivalent of hypermasculine for a little boy. Mm-hmm. And he was always like, let's wrestle. And always like, I can pick you up. And so that's a bad combination for a kid that don't really understand physics and gravity and all of that shit quite
so he
yet.
wasn't capable of picking niggas.
So let me tell you what he did. He said, I bet I can pick you up. My brother said, no, you can't. He went all the way down and picked my brother up by his knees and picked him all the way up. And my brother fell straight forward with no leverage. No, not on him. Like imagine Donnell picking him straight up and my brother knees being up the way his shoulders is,
so he just
and my brother
face
fell
planted.
straight forward, making an L, and he hit the arm of the chair. Boom!
Shit.
Straight mouth. Knocked out his two bottom teeth.
my nigga.
Blood everywhere. Now, what a normal parent would do is automatically pack everybody up in the car. We need to go to the hospital to make sure to see the extent of this damage.
Yeah.
She just put oil on us and started praying and prayed an hour before we took JD to the hospital. That's that kind of shit.
What?
I don't know, man. That's Christian logic.
Jesus.
Unless you're a Christian that doesn't have that logic, then no offense. But my mama was clearly, if you haven't been able to tell by all of this, like extreme Christian in that sense. Like, I'm talking about, we gonna pray for my brother Mouth. We eventually went to the hospital, but why wouldn't that, like, do that shit in the car and we gonna pray?
Mad as fuck, cause the pain that he must have been feeling. Like, if we don't get something to hurt, cause this ain't helping the pain.
Wait, it didn't knock his teeth out. What happened was his bottom teeth went through his whole bottom of his lip. He had to get stitches.
Okay, still hurt, a lot of pain. And you sit here praying, I'd have been mad. I'd have been so upset.
That's the same reason mama would take her bill money and make sure she paid her tithes before she paid the bills. Because God will take care of you if you pay your tithes. It's a flawed system. Let's just put it like that. that 10% thing is flawed if you don't know how to manage your money.
Let's talk about this Ashley thing. I don't understand. I just don't understand Ashley dudes. And here's why. I get that you're not expected to be like soft and smooth like women are. But like, why would you want to be ashy? Like, why would that be okay?
Want to is a very strong
If you do
way
want
of
to,
putting
if
it.
you choose not to put no damn lotion on, then you want to be ashy.
No, it don't work like that.
It does.
You're subsequently ashy because you don't put lotion on. Because you don't put lotion on don't mean you want to be ashy.
But it's an easy fix.
No, it's not necessarily.
What you mean? The lotion's right there. You just squeeze some in your hand, rub it on.
Maybe lotion ain't right there.
Why would lotion not be right there?
Because it was not built into a whole bunch of men that lotion was important for them. My mama ain't care about me putting on no damn lotion when I'm finna run outside.
My mama
Anyway,
did.
that's because your mama is your mama and my mama is my mama. And I'm sure that there are things that your mama cared about with you that she didn't care about with your brothers.
True, but the ashiness, what she want, you went finna leave
Well,
her
I'm
house.
just saying, on the scale of what a lot of parents are concerned with when it comes to their boys, I just don't know the scale of which they care about lotion.
My boys, if I had sons, is not finna. You gonna put on lotion. This is gonna
Clearly.
be important to you.
Clearly.
Because-
And that means you're going to have lotion on hand. Because I didn't. I don't know if that had anything to do with my mama's understanding of it. Maybe she didn't care because we didn't have, but like,
Did she lotion herself?
I don't know.
Okay.
We did not spend a lot of time with my mama because my mama was there, but she worked third shift. So
What about
when
your
we
grandma?
was asleep, she was working.
Okay.
And when she got off of work, we went to school. And when we got home from school, she was asleep. That is the cycle. That is the fucking from first grade all the way to me being a senior.
Mm-hmm.
Except for when I was in high school, we gambled every night at home. At a certain point, we got to stay there by ourselves. We didn't have to go to our grandma's house to sleep.
What you mean you gambled?
We gambled. We played dominoes. Like 15 people at my house. After mama went to work.
That's so
10
funny.
o'clock.
That's hilarious.
So she was around, and my grandma next door, nah. I don't even recall ever seeing lotion in their house.
That's so weird to me.
The only person who gave a damn about lotion was my grandmama, my daddy's mama. Mm-hmm. And the only time we ever saw her was when we was going to visit my pops in jail. And that wasn't even about us because we took a shower at home the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So we never put on lotion there. We just put lotion on her legs.
My mama would roast the shit out of my brothers. Like, if they thought they was gonna leave the house ashes, she would roast them. Like,
I had to learn the hard lesson. I had to get roasted at school and realize the importance of lotion. That's what I was saying. I learned through getting my ass cooked at school that lotion was important. But at that point, it was still no purpose of lotion being places that you don't see.
But isn't it itchy?
No.
I itch if I'm dry. It didn't itch?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. It's weird to me because I guess lotion has always been a part of my get ready routine that it's just weird to me when I see people ashy. I'm like, what the fuck are you
You done made,
for?
because you use so much lotion, you done made your skin sedity. Now every time you don't have lotion, your skin be like, oh, you got me out here like a fucking peasant. I'm finna itch on your ass, so you'll put some lotion on. My skin is like, nigga, what were you doing today? Like, let's go run on some coals, nigga. Like, I don't care what you want to do. Do it barefoot. I'd be like, no, I'm civilized. But we won't put no lotion on, though. You know, made your skin fucking all fucking bougie and shit. That's what happened.
Yeah, because if I forget to put on lotion, it's not gonna be on the places that you can see. But like, I lotion it when I get out of the shower, and then sometimes it don't translate into the morning. So I'll be at work like itching like shit. Like, damn, I should have put lotion on. My skin don't be having it. It don't be having it, man.
I feel like you can do without lotion. You can do without, like, people in general can do without lotion. It's some shit you can't do without. You can't do without soap. You can't do without deodorant. But lotion?
But you know that people have chronically dry skin. So for people who have, your skin gonna start cracking and shit and it's painful. Like,
well, you got a condition. You a fucked up person already. You ain't the baseline template. If you got chronically dry skin, your skin is the opposite of bougie. Your skin live in a third world country. Like that don't count. They don't give a fuck about lotion. They just want some milk to drink. Water. A meal today.
I don't know. It's so weird. Even like people in Africa, they use shea butter. Like, they lotion up. Like,
no, they don't.
They use shea butter. Where you think shea butter come from?
They use shea butter the same way they use cocoa. They fucking harvest that shit and send it to America. They don't. I watched a documentary about Africans who harvest chocolate, ain't never tasted chocolate in their life.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, they send that cocoa butter over here. So for all them butters that come from Africa, I'm just not certain that they put them on themselves. I don't.
Well,
how do you even get shea butter? Like, what the hell is a shea?
It's from a nut, ain't it?
So what they do is they go deep into the jungle where these trees that got these nuts damn near killing themselves, avoiding snakes.
How do they know that you can rub it on your skin? Somebody had to have done this at some point and be like,
the same way that they know that you can make chocolate in the chocolate bars. They don't. They just send that shit to America or Europe and let us do the shit, and then they never see the fruit of their labels.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea.
They had black soap and all kind of shit. It'd be sad if they don't use these things.
You think that they send the black soap bar wrapped up in a package that say black soap from Africa?
You could get raw black soap that ain't like nicely packaged.
I bet they ain't washing their ass with it. That's what I'm saying. Have you ever seen a fucking National Geographic magazine?
You do know that there are other people in Africa that are not in the tribes, though. Like, those people probably use the.
So we're talking about regular people then.
But they're in Africa.
I don't know. Hey, Mozambique.
I know. Help us out.
Hey, y'all tell us about lotion in Africa.
And black soap. I don't know.
How important is lotion in Africa?
That's so funny.
I feel like I feel like if you look at evolution, I feel like a culture who has to exist in the sun has skin that is a lot more resistant to the things that we use lotion and other things to protect ourselves from in places where we don't have that.
I mean, I guess.
I would feel like we have something built in that protects us from lotion. But it's not as strong for us. But when you talk about Africa, I feel like they might be alright with that shit. They might not need no lotion like that.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the process.
Any other comments for Cat Jack?
Nah. The buy thing, I think I got everything out about that. But like I said, every time we have a dialogue or somebody send us a letter in, it adds depth to my understanding of it, like you were saying.
Which I appreciate. These are the conversations, like I like to have these conversations because a lot of, it clarifies a lot of things. And so this is how your perspective shifts. Getting more information about something that you may not have a ton of information on is how your perspective is able to shift. But if you are unwilling to listen to people and get that other information, then you're going to be stuck in the way that you think. So I appreciate conversations like this. I love when people, because it's never meant to be offensive. Anything that I say is not meant to be offensive. And so if somebody comes along at any point and says, hey, what you said I didn't agree with because of blah, 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 I'm willing to sit down and listen because I know that I don't know a lot about a lot. So my perspective can always shift. So thank you, Kat.
Same for me. I think it's, just different ways of looking at the same situation. And it do make me think of a friend I have had who was bi, and he said that they don't get no respect.
Yeah, from neither
side. They don't get no respect from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy that there's this scale that we exist upon when it comes to sexuality, and I don't know how universal that idea is in terms of that, but like, if you're not on one of the extreme sides of it, then
I think that's pretty universal. And I think a lot of it has to do with religion. Most religions, I can't think of one where it's okay, where homosexuality, bisexuality is okay. I think a lot of people, their perspective about sexuality gets molded through the religion, because whether you Christian, whether you Muslim, whether you Jewish, like all of those religions, the main religions have issue with homosexuality. So I think a lot of that comes just from religion in general, because anybody listening that knows of a religion that's accepting of it, please let me know. But I can't think of one that would be. So I think that has a lot to do with it, especially here in the U.S., but around the world. Like, again, I had a gay friend who was married, and his husband was stationed in Afghanistan, and he could never go visit him because that shit you can get killed over there for being gay. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wouldn't even say it's just here. That is a pretty across the board thing, and I think a lot of it has to just do with religion. Because had it not been in so many of these texts and so many of these religions, I just don't know that people would have naturally formed these aversions to homosexuality had they not been told from the beginning of time that it was wrong. Or the beginning of religion, I guess.
All right.
So
let's answer your question.
Who question?
LGBT affirming denominations.
Okay.
Levian Satanism.
Oh, nigga.
Theistic Satanism.
Oh, nigga.
Pastafarians.
Mm-hmm. The fuck is that?
You don't know what that is?
I know what a Rastafarian is.
Oh my goodness. So Pastafarian is this religion who wanted to test the original person who created it wanted to test the bounds of our culture's ability to accept another person's religion. It started off with a person wanting to wear a colander on the top of their head for their license photo, so they said that they were a Pastafarian, and
So it's not real.
well, it's real now. It's real now. I mean,
Okay, but it's a newer religion, I guess.
It's
okay.
a newer religion, but people who consider themselves Pastafarian can wear that on their head for their license now.
All right.
But them Raelians, I don't know what that is. Unitarian Universalism, Wiccans, Voodooism, and Epicureanism.
Damn.
Epicureanism.
Now, Unitarian, yes, because I know that a lot of gay people go to those churches because they're accepted.
They remove those churches remove the deities and a lot of the inflammatory dialogue from any doctrine, so that you might have anybody from any faith there at those kind of churches.
So not a lot, because none of those are gonna have a large percentage of the world population in them.
And ain't nobody finna go be a part of them faiths just to say my faith accepts.
Exactly. So
like, you don't go from just being upset that the world don't accept you as gay to going and worship Satan so that you can get some fucking validation.
So yeah, so I really think religion has a lot to do with that, because the major world religions that most people are a part of, like the Muslim, Christian, it's not okay, and so that shapes a lot of people's viewpoint, and I think that's what a lot of the issue is that the religions that people are a part of from the very beginning, from the time that you're born, is telling you that being gay is wrong, and you're gonna go to hell, or you're not gonna get your virgins, or whatever the fuck the case may be. And so it kind of shapes people's ideas about how it's wrong or not acceptable and all of that shit. But thank you, Cat Jack, for your letter.
Appreciate you.
If you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationcardartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Car Artist, and send it to us that way. I don't get involved with back and forth. You like to debate on social media platforms. I don't. But every now and then it'll be a topic that I feel very strongly about, and I will. So I'm a part of this forum.
About lotion?
No, not lotion. Part of this forum, it's kind of like a gossip site, but it's, I go on there because I watch a lot of YouTube, and so they have a lot of like behind the scenes information on YouTubers, but they also do celebrities. And so there was a group that was discussing Cardi B and Offset. So Cardi B was pictured on vacation with Offset, who she said, she was done with. And there were women, people like, oh, she's stupid. I can't believe she went back. And there were people in the group saying it's a marriage. It's different. It's harder to walk away when you're married and you have a kid. Now, here's my problem. I don't give a fuck what Cardi do. Cardi can stay. Cardi can go. I don't really care. My issue is, and has always been, because the game said something similar to that. The expectation or the guilt that people put on folks to stay in unhealthy ass relationships because you don't need to give up on your marriage pisses me off, because I do not think that if she decided to walk away from this cheating ass nigga, that she destroyed her family. If anybody destroyed the family, it was him, for him having his community dick all over the place. Like, that shit makes me mad. And so it's not that I think she should leave or she should stay. I just don't like people saying that she should stay just because they married. Because did the marriage matter when he was fucking bitches? Did culture matter? The baby matter when he was like, that shit just makes me so angry to hear people say that shit, because it's stupid. That don't make no sense. Like, I'm forced to stay so that you don't say that I destroyed my situation. I didn't destroy shit. Now, if you want to stay because you just love that person and you want to work it out, all right. But to tell me I have to stay, or people like the game that are like, marriages used to last so much longer because people weren't willing to walk away. No, marriages used to last so much longer because women couldn't walk away. Because if you got 12 kids with Uncle Bo, then it's a lot harder for you to walk the fuck away when you, as a woman, are not going to be able to find a job that's going to make enough for you to be able to take care of these damn children. So you stay and you put up with him being a rolling stone and having all these damn outside kids. That doesn't make it healthy, and it doesn't mean that they wanted to stay. You don't have to stay in shit now that you don't want to. That's what the difference is. It's not that people don't care about marriage anymore. Is that I don't have to fucking stay with your cheating ass. I don't have to wait for you to bring me an STD back because you out here fucking bitches. I don't have to do that. And if I choose not to do that, it's not my fault that our marriage was dissolved. You shouldn't have been out here fucking bitches. That shit, it just annoys me. It irritates me so bad.
So it's funny that you mentioned men, the game saying back then relationships used to last longer. It reminded me of a thread I came across recently in which I shared my story.
Oh, God.
So let me read some of the stuff from this thread.
Okay.
Y'all really don't want women to act like their elders. You think you do, but ask Granddaddy about that scar on his stomach. Go ahead, ask. Commence all of the people commenting on what the women in their family did to the men in their family. My aunt stabbed, scalded, and shot her husband. Just saying, there's a whole other relationship history in the family some of y'all ignore.
Goddamn.
My aunt shot and killed 2 men. Never served a day in jail. My grandmother sliced up her husband because he hit her and then sent the local gang members to the hospital, and they threatened him with death if he told on them.
God damn.
My great auntie down in South Texas had an abusive husband. He disappeared and she said he ran off to Mexico. When I was little, she made an offhand comment about how fast the wild hogs and coyotes could take care of a body. Pretty sure he didn't die sipping margaritas. I had a great aunt whose husband routinely beat her. One day after another beating, he was sleeping and she was ironing, so she very calmly took the iron and put it on his stomach. I had a great grand auntie who waited for her abusive husband to pass out drunk, then pulled the bed sheet up around him, whip stitched it together, and then when he was sewn up in the sheet, she beat the piss out of him with a cast iron cornbread skillet.
God, do you know how hard cast iron is,
Yes.
nigga? That shit is heavy as fuck.
Imagine how much you flailing inside of a sheet while you getting beat the shit out of.
And you can't figure out why you can't get out the
fucked
sheet.
up part is you was passed out. You ain't even have no hope. Same woman. She also killed the one brother, a shot to the head, and his wife, 5 shots to the stomach, for bullying another brother who came back from World War I with pretty severe PTSD and chemical injuries. Defense, they needed killing. Welcome to Tennessee. My grandmother hit her first husband in the face with an iron after he was out for 3 days just to come home and eat the steak she was cooking for herself. But they don't play that. The lady under there said, I gotta admit, I'm mad about that steak like I cooked it.
Oh, Jesus.
This next one is in the spirit of Al Green. My uncle's ex-wife knew he had shellfish allergies. She caught him cheating with the woman that would become wife number 2, calmly went to the kitchen to make her mama some gumbo with all of the shellfish, then threw the juice on his balls. My grandmother was rather healthy, and my grandfather was small, like Prince small. Anyhow, she would pick him up and throw him. And the last person said, I'm glad I scrolled through all of these comments to arrive here. So, on this post, I shared my story about my grandmama.
I remember.
Abuse from my granddaddy and pulling his gun and pointed at him, and like how just every man do in the movie. What you gonna do with that? Bop! She shot his goddamn ass. Then she called the police and continued watching her story. When the police got there, he ain't pressed charges. He was like, in his head, I be like, I can't believe this bitch shot me, but I respect her, man. I feel like that's how that went down. But so I say all that to say, be careful. Like that shit come with some. It come with. It's pros and cons to that old school relationship shit.
It is.
Like you ain't finna get away with shit like that. And back then, it wasn't like back then. Those days, it wasn't that domestic violence. Both people going to jail shit.
Oh yeah.
Either the man was going to jail or wasn't nothing happening to the woman. That was the only 2 options. It don't matter what she did to your ass. The police will come to your house and laugh at you. They will laugh in your face. Boy, you let this woman do you like this, boy? Don't call her boy this shit no more. And then they'll leave.
I forgot. I have, because my grandma did some shit like that. She knew that he was allergic to certain stuff, so like I guess it's like the girl she didn't throw no juice on his balls though. She would cook it into the food, and he would have an allergic reaction. And she would know exactly why he was having an allergic reaction, but she didn't know what was going on.
Oh, what is happening?
His whole shit be swole up, and she just be like, "Huh? What did you
like
eat?"
the dude you was talking about with the wire on. What could have caused this? Oh my goodness! Let's get some Benadryl.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're out of Benadryl.
Basically, she fuck his shit up. And she will always, well, baby, you ate something before you came home. No, he ate what you made. Swole his shit up. Swole it all the way up. And she would just sit back and be, because my grandfather was mean as fuck. He just was mean to everybody. And my grandmother, like, I mean, she was super old school. She never learned how to drive. Like, she died still, never know, because she didn't have to drive. It wasn't no reason for her to learn, so she just never did. She had to depend on him to take her places and to take my mom and them places. So she didn't want him dead, but she punished him. She punished him without him knowing she was punishing him.
Listen,
so
my perspective is, you get what you asked for. I mean, she knew what this man was, and I'm not, we in the business of people changing. Mm-hmm. I'm not against believing that a situation or circumstance can happen that would change somebody to not do things like that again.
But they're gonna be for the next bitch.
It's definitely counseling. It's not just him coming on bad because he looked like a damn fool coming on stage and doing all the stuff he did to try to get back in her good graces.
Man, I'm sorry, bro. Who the fuck?
And then he said, I ain't have sex with her. I was entertaining her. Like, you splitting hairs here, brother. Like, all this is under the umbrella of shit you shouldn't do if you're married.
I fully believe that people can change, and I would never say that my husband wasn't capable of changing. What I would say is that he gonna make them changes for the next bitch, cause it ain't gonna be for me.
But it go back to what I said on the last podcast, where cheating is not a part of the ups and downs of a marriage. It's just not. That ain't something that the world should be convincing people to accept.
Yep.
And it just, that defense you were talking about reminds me of the shit with the wall right now with Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Donald Trump wants $5 billion for a wall. The Republicans keep writing legislation to make a wall happen, but it's clearly legislation that Democrats don't want. They keep saying we passed this legislation in the Senate. Now the Democrats, they don't want to support it. So they're the reason that this shit is breaking down. It's because they won't accept this plate full of shit that we give them to eat. It's like, here, eat this shit. We prepared it. It's delicious. And Democrats is looking at it like at a plate with shit on it and saying, we don't want that. And then they like, that's the reason they ass is starving. Because they won't eat this shit plate we got for them. You know what I'm saying? So that defense reminds me of that. It's like, Cardi B is being offered the shit plate by Offset, and people are saying, hey, no, Cardi B, eat the shit. Eat the shit. We know, look, it ain't the best, but you won't starve to death if you eat it.
It's got nutrients.
Exactly. Like, eat the shit. And you know what? Cardi B was like, you know what? I think I have a spoon. I mean, it is shit, but at least I get to eat the shit with Offset. Fuck.
And let me make this clear, because this was also something when I was going back and forth with people. I am in no way saying that everybody who gets cheated on should leave. I'm not saying that at all. You have to make that decision for yourself. What I am saying is that they should not be guilted into staying. If they want to leave, they should be allowed to leave without people saying you ruining this family, you breaking up this relationship, your kid gonna suffer because of this. She gonna suffer if I stay with her cheating ass daddy too, because then she gonna have a parent that's dead and one in prison. So fuck out of here. Like, so everybody have to make that decision for themselves. Everybody knows what they deal breakers are, and cheating might not be a deal breaker for you. It might be something you're willing to work through, and I have no problem with that. I mean, as a therapist, I do couples counseling. I have people come in that have had infidelity and they want to work past it, and I'm not gonna tell them you need to leave because she cheated on you. No, if that's what you want to do, okay. My whole argument is just do not make people feel like they have to stay in a toxic, unhealthy fucking relationship because just for the sake of it's a marriage or the kids. Like, the fuck out of here, because you need to keep that same energy when Offset out here sharing his dick with everybody. Keep that same, you don't need to be fucking up your relationship energy, because it should not only come when, and this is whether it's a man cheating or a woman cheating. I feel the same way. If a dude gets cheated on by his girl, he should not be forced. And the thing about it is, society ain't gonna force him. He ain't gonna get the same shit. If his wife cheat on him and he leave, people ain't gonna give him the same shit as they give women. They gonna understand why this nigga left his cheating ass wife. But a woman, oh, you ruining the family, you tearing down black families. Like, that was another thing. Like, this why we got so many single mothers. We got so many single mothers because we got fuck niggas out here having babies that they not taking care of. How dare you say that the whole reason why we have this situation in our community is because women won't stay with cheating ass niggas? What the fuck? Fuck out of here. Oh, I can't stand that shit. This shit just irks my soul.
So did you see the video of Cardi B talking about, her missing sex with Offset?
His dick everywhere. I don't understand that either.
Well, I think that there is a genre of women where sex, when it comes to a relationship, is just on the top of the hierarchy.
It is. I got clients like
and
that.
it's a whole bunch of men who have crafted their sexual prowess to be what their marketing for themselves is. So they don't have to focus on that extra shit, So, little transparency here. As far as sex, I'm average. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm average, maybe slightly above average. But the other qualities that come along with me makes my shit increase. That's just how it works. It make my whatever I'm lacking. If you want like a mandingo meat, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm lacking in that, I make up for that shit in other places, and that brings more value to me in that way. The niggas who don't focus on that extra shit that bring you more value, the only value end up being found in their meat.
And there's other things that could be found in their meat, which is why I don't understand why that would be.
But see, that ain't the way that a Cardi B is thinking. A Cardi B ain't thinking about how she might get the Usher special. She is merely thinking about how it feels to be demolished, her words, by his sex. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
so stupid. I just don't. And I mean, I don't really. Sex has never been a big deal to me. Like, it's not something that, I've always been more focused on other aspects, right? And so I would never be a Cardi B because I don't care if it's the best sex I ever had in my life. If you a shit ass nigga, like, for me, that's gonna surpass that. Because the thing is, I'm not gonna be having sex. I'm gonna be in your presence, dealing with your bullshit more than I am gonna be having sex with you. And so for me, it's not worth that shit. It's not worth me going through your phone and shit, because it's not worth me having to, in her case, go back and forth with people on Shade Room or have people DMing me about he doing this and like that ain't worth that shit to me. Like I don't. That's a high price to pay for some dick. Is what I guess is what I'm saying. Good or bad. I mean, he can have the most amazing dick in the world, but that's a high ass price to pay.
I'm saying. That's your hierarchy. You don't fall in that genre of women
Give a shit about
who have put the penis on a pedestal for men who have a penis to put on the pedestal to fuck those women over.
Yeah.
Whenever they get ready. Because Offset is the way he is because of the way he is. Like, unless he go to counseling to figure out what even caused him to have sex with and or entertain any women that he was with, until he go figure that shit out, it's gonna come back. It's gonna happen again. Yeah. I mean,
and for anybody saying, "Oh, they in the industry, he a rapper," you know, she should know it's gonna be groupies. Then don't fucking get married. He should know it's gonna be goddamn groupies too. Again, that shit don't make no sense to me. Okay, so since she married a rapper, she should just be willing to accept him out here fucking people. How does that make sense? He know he a rapper too, but he got married.
But that's still also a representation of the misogyny that comes along with the industry,
because
she's a rapper too. Goddamn, like it's plenty of meats that she can drop the thing on if she want to. I'm just saying, it is.
It is.
You know, why is that only focused on the side of the man? Like, what would be the dialogue if she had sex with somebody?
A hoe. She a hoe. She a trick. She a bitch. She be all of these negative things.
Offset is leaving. Nobody wouldn't be saying that Offset is breaking up his family by leaving.
They wouldn't. The Game specifically. First of all, Game, you ain't never even married none of the bitches you done had babies with. So you ain't nobody that need to even be given. You don't have a dog in this fight. But he is also talking out the side of his mouth about how, you know, this is why the families ain't sticking together. But then he also the nigga that's out here doing bullshit, like fucking folks and just making babies. So it's like, you don't really care about black families. You don't, because if you did, then you would not be encouraging women to stay with a nigga who willing to do that. Because you do know that the kids are impacted by that. I don't know why people act like, you know, they not, but a kid seeing their daddy treat their mama like shit, whether it's a boy or a girl, is gonna be impacted by that. A kid who realizes that they got a sibling the same age as them that's got a different goddamn mama, at some point is gonna realize daddy was fucking around on mama. I got a sibling, we a month apart, but we like that has an impact on the family as well. So like that shit, you miss me with all of that shit. So again, I am not saying whether or not somebody should stay or go. I think that should be left up to them. But the decision should not be based off of, well, you gonna ruin the family if you leave. The bitch.
And
bye.
I mean, like I said, that's what comes along with patriarchy, misogyny, and a man-led society. It ends up being men dictating how women should operate, but having no real standard for how they supposed to operate. Like, men always talk about women being loyal. They always talk about women breaking up the family in these instances. They always talk about women accepting the man back. What is the man supposed to do? Is the man just supposed to be, happy that he back?
Yep.
What is his sacrifice? Because the reality is you got to go do what you wanted to do, and you came back, and how are you paying for that? I don't, but that just plays into that idea that we gonna dictate how women exist out here.
That shit is look. And then some of the women kept saying, you only saying that because you ain't married. You only saying that because you don't fucking know me. Okay? There is no way. There's no way. Like, that is definitely a deal breaker for me. Off top, it's not gonna happen. I don't give a fuck how long we've been married. No. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. I'm not, because the thing is, I'm gonna be the one have to do the work in this situation. You went and fuck somebody, now I gotta do the work. Because now I gotta deal with my trust issues that that's gonna bring up. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta try to process through these feelings, these insecurities and shit. Like, I gotta do all of that. Me. Because you fucked up. Nah. Not my responsibility. You fucked up. You wanted to be out here fucking bitches. Now you free to go fuck anybody you want to. And I would not keep you from your kid. We gonna co-parent the shit out of this kid at this point. But that's all you gonna be is daddy. You not husband no more, for sure. Fuck all of that shit. But yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
So, Shogun from Government Name Podcast threw a topic out here for us to talk about since they not having a show this week, but check them out at the Government Name, Shogun and Cole Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get
I
a
know
chance.
what you're finna say.
Huh?
I know what you're talking about.
And it's about a concept called a predate. I'm going to read what the article says, because apparently they're saying that this is a thing that dudes are doing now. Millennial dudes are doing now. You exchange contact information, chat for a week or two, and begin to feel a genuine connection with the person on the other end of the line. The anticipation of finally meeting up for a date slowly builds, so you set up a day and time to finally go out. In preparation, you go all out. Nails done, hair done, everything did. The era of romance and the potential to be briskly swept off of your feet and ride off into the distance with your knight in shining armor makes you feel like the next Meghan Markle. And then pause. He wants you to just come over and catch a vibe. This, ladies, is what's being labeled as the predate. The new but not so quite new way for a guy or girl to temperature check and feel you out with the goal of gauging whether or not you're quote unquote worthy of a real first date where real coins are spent. Simply put, it's testing the waters to see if he can get the goods without spending money and or making a real emotional or spiritual investment.
You want to come over or have me come over to catch a vibe? You can catch this fade. Let me tell you something. This whole concept makes no fucking sense. I'm not going to have a nigga that I've never met over to my house. Nor am I going to go over to the home of a nigga I've never met. If you're not willing to, at the very least, even go Dutch on the price of a coffee at Starbucks, we don't need to date. There is no way in fuck I'm gonna let you come over and catch a vibe. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, look, and I get it, okay? I know that men are expected to pay for dates and it can be very expensive, and you going on a very first date and paying a lot of money out for some shit that might not work out. I fucking get it, which is why I'm down with coffee dates. Coffee dates, one, coffee is cheap as fuck, and if it's not a good connection, coffee don't last long. I go ahead and throw this coffee back and get the fuck out of here. Right? It's gonna be as long as like a dinner date where you gotta sit down, wait for the food to come out, and then eat the food, and then all of this shit. Like, coffee is quick and easy and simple. Okay? But that is as far as I am willing to fucking go. If you text me, call me, talking about catching a fucking vibe, you finna catch this dial tone, because I'm gonna hang the fuck up on you and block you, and that's gonna be the end of the fucking story. What kind of shit is that? Catch a vibe? Do you know how crazy people are these days?
Red, you are looking at this all wrong.
Okay.
You're looking at this as if the person who is trying to catch a vibe is actually trying to assess whether you're somebody that they want to move forward in a dating. Let me tell you something about them same group of dudes that I was telling you about with pedestal meat. So,
wait, we need to make shirts. Pedestal meat needs to be one of them. I would love to walk around with that on and explain to people what it means. But go ahead.
Okay, so pedestal meat guys, they have this whole set of tools, you know, and it's not like the relationship equivalent of a hammer, a screwdriver, pliers, you know, your torque wrenches. Like, it's not just general shit you may need. It's like, it's a fucking chainsaw. It's very specific shit.
The kit you need to break into a house.
Yes, it's very specific shit. And those same dudes, they feel like because all of their skills have been geared toward what they can do to get a woman, they feel like if I can just get her over here, I'm good. If I could just get her here and she see what the tools I got, my chainsaw, my fucking lockpick kit, and my assassin's tools, when she realizes I got these, she gonna be like, wow, you have those. I want to try them out. Like, that's the ego level of those dudes that believe that their sex is what can make a woman, because they have examples in their life of women who done been crazy over them just from their sex, because you know what? They know they ain't shit. They know they have nothing else to offer. So you looking at it from the perspective of a dude that's actually assessing that. I feel like this is just smoke and mirrors and another way for a dude to trick you to coming over, because he already got them 2 weeks out the way of chatting with him. You already like him enough to chat with him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Now you think he's genuine enough to invite you to his house just to kind of chill, but he got ulterior motives in this situation.
Hell yeah. I watch too much ID channel. So the fact that you even willing to allow me to come over to your place, shit, for all I know, you don't mind me knowing where you live, because I ain't gonna never leave that motherfucker. I'm leaving a body bag, so you ain't gotta worry about me. Like, that shit is just weird to me that you would invite somebody that you don't know over to your home. Like, nah, nigga, I'm not coming over there. And you definitely ain't finna find what if I don't even let people come pick me up for dates. I got a fucking car. I'ma meet you. Because I don't know if I want you to know where I fucking live. I don't know what kind of nigga you are. I don't know if you the stalking kind of bitch. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, women, I need y'all to be a lot more discerning. Because when you think about the creepy dude, I think everybody think about that dude from Players Club. What was his name?
Oh, the brother.
Not the brother, no, the dude in the club that followed Ebony home.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name.
But like I
with
feel
the glasses,
like he was one of them dudes in the strip club that you know in the strip club because he got social issues and don't really like that. Ain't the dude y'all looking out for. I mean, y'all can see that nigga from a mile away, so you can take your steps accordingly. Mm-hmm. Unless you ain't paying attention when you walking in the door like Ebony. But if you looking, you'll notice him. See who you're looking for. You're looking for that dude that is charismatic, that is very cunning with words, that knows exactly what to say and how to say it. And that's the dude y'all are looking for, because you know how Ted Bundy killed most of his people? Fucking pleasantly as fuck.
He was charismatic as fuck.
Ted Bundy was like the nicest motherfucker ever until he had his hands around your throat.
Yep.
And he was helping people with groceries, talking himself up to their car, getting women to smile and laugh, and then boom, he murdering them and having sex with their dead bodies. That's another situation. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the con artist. You're looking for the man who shit just seems too right. That's the nigga that is more scary than the nigga with the glass in the strip club.
Yep.
You know, because the nigga with the glass in the strip club, you probably can uppercut him once or twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and he'll be, fucked up. But that dude, the dude who wants you to come over to catch a vibe, these are scary motherfuckers, man. This is why I don't. It takes me so long to get into on dating sites and stuff. It takes me so long to get into a realistic situation with anybody, just because I've never been forward with none of that shit, because they need to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like they need to be comfortable with that situation. So I don't say shit. Like at a certain point, some women just be like, well, you ain't never asked me to come, so you don't like me, bye. And some women be like, why you ain't never asked me to come? And some women be like, I mean, when the fuck we gonna get together? You know? And I be like, okay, well, look like she's got to this comfort level. But that's just me. But I did. So don't fall for predates, is bullshit. But the next line in this says, for millennials, there is no shortage of verbiage to explain away the foolery we've had to deal with: ghosting, breadcrumbing, the slow fade, benching, and now this. So I clearly needed to go see what all of those other terms were.
I know what ghosting is.
I know what ghosting is, and the other one seem
breadcrumb.
The other two of them seem kind of figured out. But benching is when you start dating someone you think is nice and who has potential, but you're not crazy about them. You don't know whether to keep dating them or dump them and move on to the next one. This is where benching happens. Instead of going for either of the above polarized options, you put your date in the mental maybe folder and bench them, so you date around to see what else is out there.
Okay.
Ghosting, when a person cuts off all communication with their friends or the person they're dating with zero warning or notice beforehand. You'll mostly see them avoiding friends' phone calls, social media, avoiding them in public. Breadcrumbing, when the crush has no intentions of taking things further, but they like the attention, so they flirt here or there, send DMs and texts just to keep the person interested, knowing damn well they're staying single.
Oh my God.
And the slow fade is lacking in readiness or willingness to accept a budding relationship, therefore institutes this passive-aggressive method of disappearing from a relationship altogether over an extended period of time.
That is just too, it sounds exhausting. That's just too much.
How was it exhausting?
Because it's just too, like, all of this shit I gotta figure out if I'm being breadcrumbed or slow faded or, it's too much. What the fuck is all of this? What happened to just being like,
Well, this is what happened when one person has standards and another person don't. That's what happens. When one person says, I don't like this thing that's happening, this is how I'm going to interact, and the other person is like, I just want it to happen. So they just deal with whatever comes along.
this shit is crazy as hell. There's no way. I can't deal with all of that.
How do you
I don't have
deal with
the
how do you
patience.
deal with dudes you date that or you've dated in the past that you didn't like, but they was still like they didn't know you didn't like them? Like, have you ghosted? Have you slow faded?
No, I'm a ghoster.
You're a ghoster. So when they text you, you just stop texting back. You just everything just cut off.
Yeah.
Cold turkey.
Yeah. Because I'm an asshole.
What's the longest one of those you've done that with?
What do you mean?
Like the longest interaction you did that you realize I don't really like this. You ghost that person too?
I mean,
it's different if it's like a 2 or 3 week interaction, but I mean, like, if over a period of time you realize I don't really want to fuck with this person no more.
I don't even. I realize fairly quickly whether or not this is something that I can deal with, and mostly because I have y'all to be my angels. So, because
Yep.
we wouldn't even get past 2 weeks sometimes because I'll be like, oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna be done. So you done saved a lot of dudes. And they don't even know it because I would have walked the fuck away. So I don't know. It don't really last. Like, if I'm a ghost you, it's gonna happen fairly quickly. But I got Gray Shirt. I feel like I wouldn't even say he ghosted me. I think he slow faded me. I do think he did that. But it's a slow fade. He came back. I don't know what that is.
I don't think that's a slow fade. Something happened in the middle of that time. There's something. He benched you.
Yes, he benched me.
you.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
Once I get on the bench, I ain't coming home. I don't do that like
That
this.
That ain't a team player.
Well, if you put me on the bench, fuck y'all. I hope y'all lose. I don't give a fuck at that point. So, like, I don't know. I'm not good at dating. I'm just not. Like, I'm a real, like, is we doing this or are we not? Like, I don't, all of this back and forth and catching a vibe. Like, it's too much.
But I think
I don't want to do all that.
I've been for some time trying to assess the reality of something other than these terms: ghosting, benching, slow fade. Because who really the fuck the day they realize they don't want to fuck with nobody no more? Sit them down and be like, listen, I just want to tell you face to face, this shit ain't gonna work. Okay, I thought I liked you. I don't like you as much as I thought I did. So I don't think this is gonna move forward anymore.
Here's the thing. I have tried to do that. But with dudes, when you do that, like,
they try to bully your ass into
or they'll say it hadn't been long enough. Like how can you make that decision? Like, I think we just need to
bitch, because I'm me. I can make any decision I want to. Look, I'll take my shoes off. Look, I just took my shoes off. That was my decision. You don't have to understand it. You don't even have to like it. You might not like my socks. But I make the decision. So you're not here to assess what kind of decision I make or what I should make. I just did it. And this is the decision I'm making.
Yeah, they'll try to, like, act like, try to convince you to give it more time. Like, so I went out, and this is not even, I went out with a white dude. Well, actually, I think this is one of the last times I went out with a white dude. He was nice. He was a pharmacist, so he had money. This was the one where the first date was amazing. We went to, like, the symphony and, like, a wine bar. It was cool.
Got you a Ted Bundy.
Potentially. But, like, I knew that it just, one, he was not attractive in person. Like, and I kind of felt like that when I saw his pictures, but I was like, I mean, maybe there was nothing on my end there. There was no chemistry there whatsoever. So I told him that, like, we went out I think twice, and I was like, I'm just really not, like, I don't think it's there. Like, I'm really not feeling. He's like, well, how can you decide that? We only went out twice. And it's like, I'm trying to save you from spending more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already spent a shit ton more money than most people would spend in the beginning. And so I'm trying to help you. And
he's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
If he's a pharmacist, I feel
UAB.
like he should look like Mark Wahlberg's brother, Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah. He was real doughy. Like, he looked like one of those people who used to be big and lost weight, and so they just look doughy now. Like, he looked like that. And
It's not like a bad way to put it.
I mean, I don't know how else to.
Because I just think of the Pillsbury Doughboy now.
But, like, deflated.
It's not better.
And he had that weird thing where you, like, some people don't have like, their chin goes directly into their neck, and so they have this, like, slant here instead of like this dip. It's just like a slant.
So if you
like a lizard,
combine that with no lips,
and he had no lips. You remember, no lips, no lips at all. Problem. So exactly. So, like, I was like, this ain't going. Nope. Because at some point you're going to want to touch me, and I'm going to probably be disgusted by this, so this ain't going. And you don't have lips. I have lips. How does that work? I don't even know.
Moment of transparency. I don't remember. White people just don't have lips. So, I just threw that out there. I figured I was 95% chance I was going to be right.
Head on. Like, and when I say no lips, you could barely even see. You know how your lips be red? It was like a little thin line of red where his mouth was closed. Like, he had no lips at all. And that shit was weird to me. Because it's like.
So he just had teeth covers.
Yes.
Like a little sheet on his teeth.
It reminds me of like a dog. Like, dogs don't have lips. And so, but when they close their mouth, you can't see their teeth, but they don't have lips. It was like that. And it's like, how do you drink out of straws? Like, you don't have lips. I don't understand. It was weird. So, but he was like
are lips like the massive, like, is whatever is at the end of your skin lips? Like, even if it's like a millimeter long, it's just the end of what that is called lips, or is lips just a define? Because we say they don't have lips, but it's like, what is the definition of lips?
It's the skin. It's like, it's this. It's like, it's the skin.
Well, how is it supposed to be? Like, is there supposed to be like ours and they have absolutely none of it, or is ours supposed to be like theirs and our shit just goddamn bubbled over like a tumor?
I think that is somewhere in the middle. I think that because there are some of us who have gigantic lips that is like shit, the soup coolers. But then you also have them on the other extreme end of the spectrum that, like him, have no lips at all. So I think it's supposed to be somewhere in the middle. Because there are white people with lips, and then there are some that don't have them.
5%? And it's 5% of black people without lips. The black people without lips got bigger lips than white people regular lips.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're only a black person without lips because you're black.
Yes.
Not because you actually don't have lips, but because they just significantly smaller than
black
what the
average.
Like, white people, like, the black person without lips is still bigger than the white person with bigger lips.
But like I think
Botox.
I think it's because otherwise all of these people that are getting lip fillers, they get them because they don't have lips. Lip fillers create lips if you don't have them.
No.
Yes, they do. They do. Kylie Jenner didn't have lips. She got lips now. She got filler.
If you don't have lips, the only thing that I feel would get big is that piece of skin in front of your teeth. And so imagine that shit. It wouldn't even look like lips like we got. It would just look like your face like broke out.
But it does. That's what it looked like. So I don't know if you've ever seen somebody with lip fillers without lipstick on. But that's what it is. It looks, because it's like this. It's like the top of their lip. It looks like an allergic reaction, which is why you have to wear like lipstick and shit. Or it does look like you allergic to shellfish and you ate it, and now
I'm trying to find it.
Like, without lipstick on, that's exactly what it looks like, an allergic reaction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So
Didn't know that.
Yep.
I'm glad I got lips.
So that's what lip filler does. But you gonna have to put something on top of it to make it look like lips, because otherwise it's just gonna look like you had an allergic reaction and your mouth swole. But anyway, I try.
You know, I say shit like this all the time, but I be trying to think of humans in the terms of evolution, and I'm gonna have to research, I guess, what about European cultures and how they brought up would lead them to not needing lips, and what in the African culture made them need lips.
But I feel like, on in general, I feel like, just in general, I feel like our acid, like most of the things on our body in comparison to their bodies are bigger. We have more hip than they do naturally, like just naturally. So I don't know what evolution, and part of it I know is slavery, and they were, putting us together to make like the super slaves, so that, but I think even before that, before they start, orchestrating these scientific experiments, making people mate with these people, we just in general have like larger features, noses, like we just have larger feet. I don't know why though. I don't know evolution from like what in Africa would require us to have bigger features, but just overall everything about us is bigger than them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's not just the lips. They have little noses. They don't have asses a lot of times. Like I don't know. I don't understand. It's weird.
Well, I know the way Africans used to live in Africa was more dangerous, than living in Europe. Europe, all they had to worry about was like plague rats. And in Africa, they've constantly had to worry about like wildlife and shit.
Tigers.
So I guess maybe a bigger nose for inhaling more air and oxygen from maybe running and shit, or
I don't know.
I have no idea. It'd be interesting.
But we're just larger in general, like hips, butts, like again, and this even because I know some people are gonna be like, well, the slave trade and this, yes, but even before that, before bringing us over here, we just were. I don't know why though. So, but yeah, so I tried though with him to like end it, and he was just really, I had to ghost him because he wouldn't let the shit go. I was like, dude, it's not there. I'm telling you, it's not there. I promise you, it's not there. I could go on 1,000 more dates with you. It ain't gonna be there. But he's like, no, I just don't think you've had enough time to make that decision.
But so that's what I'm saying. Is it really realistic to do that then?
No, it ain't.
Is it really realistic?
I ain't did it since because that's why I ghost people now.
That's what I'm saying, because it's such a harsh dialogue surrounding things like ghosting and things like
but
it's just like, oh, did you ghost me? Like, I mean, not really, maybe, like.
Yeah, I don't do this shit no more after that because I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with you trying to tell me how I ain't did this or that. Like, I'm telling you how it is. So yeah, I ghost people now because of Chubbs. Chubbs was his nickname.
What? Chubbs. All right.
Me and AC Blow had this thing. We still do this where when we date people, we don't use their names. So like the girl who killed the kid became vehicular homicide. So whenever we referred to her, I don't even know her name. I don't even know none of the names of the girls he's ever dated. Like I have no idea because we always come up with a nickname. He had Naughty Nurse. Like we come up with just just names for everybody. So like I don't even remember any of their actual names, sadly. So
you know
Chubbs.
what a chub is, right?
No, I was saying Chubbs because like chubby. Now you're gonna make this terrible. But what is?
I've been a semi-erect yet still malleable penis.
But that makes sense for him because he was mushy and yeah. No, that still works.
Well, clearly they didn't call him that because
we didn't call him that because of that, but it works. That is a good way to describe him.
That was y'all's nickname for him. That was not his nickname for himself.
Oh no, that's what we call him behind his back.
I mean, that sounds like a person who used to be fat but skinny now nickname would be
Chubbs. That's what we called him.
But I'm saying that would sound like that would have been they like nickname in childhood or some shit.
I mean, shit, it could have been. I don't know. We didn't get that far. So I don't know no nicknames he was called, but Chubbs just seemed to fit, so that's what we called him. I don't even remember his real name now because of that too, because we referred to him as Chubb so much that I don't know.
I'm gonna refer to him as Donnie Wahlberg. Cause Donnie Wahlberg, like Mark Wahlberg, looked like the Hollywood attractive white man that women will go after. Donnie looks like not that.
Yeah. That's what
Donnie looked like a regular ass dude that just worked. He looked like a manager at the Piggly Wiggly or some shit.
What he part of New Kids on the Block?
Donnie?
One of them wasn't it? Maybe shit. I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like one of them were. You go into your next story now. I'm gonna have to look up New Kids on the Block and see.
That was my story.
Oh damn it! David and Tamela Mann made a is it a secular album? I guess, or is it still considered?
No, we gotta have a conversation. It's an, I guess, R&B album. We can't call it a secular album. I think we have to define what a secular album is at this point.
Donnie was part of New Kids on the Block.
Oh, I wonder how he looked like when he was younger.
I mean, he just one of them background. It's like when you think of NSYNC, it was JC and Justin Timberlake, and then the other ones was just back there. He was one of them.
Lost me on that one.
What?
NSYNC.
Everybody wasn't feeling all of the men in NSYNC.
Drew Hill. Nokio.
Yeah. Yes, he was Nokio of New Kids on the Block. When nobody really out here like, ooh, Donnie. It was it was Joey McIntyre. And I can't think of the other members.
Yeah,
right
Donnie
off.
Wahlberg looked like a assistant principal at the middle school.
He just that's better than the Piggly Wiggly manager. I guess
work at
you upgraded him.
You know, I go to the schools for counseling, and like 3 weeks ago, I went to the school, and there's an assistant principal there. He's short. He was just like an elf.
Oh no!
I was like, why did you do this to yourself,
like
bro?
On
like,
purpose?
did you use a bed? He was the only person in the whole school dressed like something. It had to be on purpose. He was fully just. It's like he had on elf pajamas and a hat.
Oh, that's sad. No.
I was like, he
no.
definitely looked like a assistant principal of a middle school.
That's super sad. Super sad. David and Tamela Mann came out with if you don't know who they are, it's Brown and what's her name on the Medea shit? Brown and Cora, which is weird because he plays her dad in the Tyler Perry universe, but they're actually husband and wife, which is just weird. But anyway, they are also gospel artists, and they came out with a album of love songs.
Yes.
Okay. And
this is the conversation. Okay. What makes an album secular? What makes an album secular? What makes secular music secular? Is it because that heathens are making it? Or is it because that the content of it is heathenous?
Well, let's see what the definition of secular is. Let's just start with that.
This ain't gonna be nothing like Christians be using it as.
Denoting attitudes, activities, or other things that have no religious or spiritual basis. So it wouldn't be necessarily secular because there is a spiritual element to marriage, and it's I guess because they're a married couple. I don't know.
But if somebody heard it without knowing that they were married,
true.
Then it would fit the definition of secular.
Yeah.
I mean, we happen to know that they married, so does that make So one definition is that the words themselves can be secular.
Yes.
The other one is the context of who makes the words maybe not secular.
I guess. I don't know. Either way, it's fucking weird that they made a love album. It's weird.
Why is it weird?
Just because.
It would seem weirder that a single person make a love album.
No, because even if you're single, you've been in relationships more than likely. Like, so you still have an aspect of love. It's not because they're a couple though. Because I don't think it's weird with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I don't think it's weird with Sierra's married. I don't think that is that they are a married gospel couple. I guess is what makes it weird. I don't know. Like the way Christians act about sex and love and marriage and shit. It's just kind of weird for me. Because of that, I guess. Like, I don't give a fuck what they do in their bedroom. All right. But it's just weird because they're gospel singers.
Maybe they're trying to start a trend.
Of what?
Because, bruh, you can't tell me Brown be trying to clap the cheeks to Marvin Gaye. I mean to Marvin Sapp. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he won't, and now he can't do it to his own music.
That's weird.
Maybe he's getting all of these other artists to do that because otherwise, what do they listen to?
They listen. Here's the thing that I think about Christians, and this is one of the or just religious people in general, and this is one of the issues that I have with them is that they pretend like they don't do shit that they do that we know that you do. And so I feel like, especially like older Christians, it was Al Green and Marvin Gaye. It was regular shit. But I think they try to give off this persona that they don't do these things or like secular music is bad. But I guarantee you, at some point, they was listening to Let's Get It On and was getting it on. I just believe that. So my issue a lot of times with like, especially super religious people, it's like, you really want to sit up here and act like that you ain't never did nothing wrong? Like you been saved your whole life, huh? All right. Like I just believe that they listen to the same shit. They're just not as forthcoming. They ain't gonna be like, driving down the street bumping the shit like like other people might, but they listen to regular shit because what else is there? And I guess silence. You can listen to nothing while you have sex. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But it's weird to me that they made a love album.
It's not weird.
I don't have a problem with it. I'm sure that there's going to be a market for it and people who love them in general are going to buy the album, but I wouldn't buy it. It don't. But again, for me, I can't get past the fact that it's Brown and Cora. It's not that the music is bad. It's mediocre R&B
Brown
music.
Don't sound like Brown.
I still know it's him
when he's singing.
I still know it's him. Like if somebody had played it without telling me who it was, it's mediocre music. I mean, it's not all that great. Yeah, to be honest, it's mediocre as fuck.
It's the song on the Hosts.m4a album that don't sound bad, but you don't listen to it no more. You just listen to the other hot songs.
Yes, that's what it is.
They got an album full of that.
Yeah. So if I listen to it, I just be like, okay, this whatever. And even after you told me, it become weird. Then it's the same way that. I guess the best example I could give is like R. Kelly music creeps me out now because I equate it with him fucking with little kids. Like, and so all of the sex songs he's singing about, now I feel like he was talking about young girls. And so listening to it for me now, because of who he is, fucks it up for me. I don't even listen to R. Kelly no more because of that, because it just puts me in a weird space. So it's the same thing with Brown and Cora. Like, because of who they are, it's fucking weird. Now, I don't care. Get your money. Get your coin. I don't care. But I'm not going to be listening to it personally. I think that they probably going to have a market for it, but it ain't probably me. They will have a market for it.
Bruh, everybody with a whole gospel playlist who pretend like gospel don't exist when they having sex with their mate and or fornicating, trying to pretend like Christianity don't exist. They playing that now.
Yeah, I'm sure. So again, like, cause what is his podcast name? Rockman 380. I couldn't think of it. He was like super like aggressively upset about it, like, and I didn't understand it because it's like it's weird, but like I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna listen to it, but I get it, But he was just like, he feels like they trying to make money, and it's like, but that's churches do that shit all the time. What you think tithes are?
Listen, the whole concept of religion is selling shit. Okay?
Yeah.
They selling seats in heaven. It just takes 70 years to get approved. It like to get you for the ticket purchase. Like as soon as you are a Christian or whatever, and you understand the concepts of Christianity, you just hit, purchase on Ticketmaster. Except it's Spirit Master. You just hit purchase on Spirit Master. And now, in order to get your tickets, a certain level of shit you gotta go. Like, and religion is the rules by which you get them tickets at some point. Like, that's a sale.
This is so off topic, but I was intending to ask you about this earlier in the week and I forgot, so I'm just gonna do it now. Well, not even ask you about it, but okay. So I have a new client that is a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
And that whole concept is so fucking weird to me. Like their brand of religion. because, and I guess it's because my background is in Christianity, you know, we Methodist, so I guess that's why it's so weird to me. But so they had a daughter that got pregnant but lost the baby before anybody found out, and so they were happy because she wasn't gonna get excommunicated, or what do they call it, shunned. They call it shunning. But that shit is so crazy to me, that you have a religion where if you do something that they don't like, there's no forgiveness. Like, you just get fucking shut, and your family is fully expected to never fuck with you again. Like, they never are supposed to speak to you. You can't come over for shit. Like, that is just such a weird concept to me. Also weird is that they believe that there are a certain number of seats in heaven, and you living right in the host.
The Bible say that.
It say it's a certain number of seats.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that. The only religion I've heard that says that is Jehovah's Witness. It's like 565,000, and it's a small ass number for the population of people on earth.
144,000. It's in Revelation.
144,000. The odd thing in your favor, like what? That's so weird. But the concept of there being specific seats, but you don't know if you have a seat. But in case you have a seat, you're supposed to live your life right so you can get that seat. But if I'm destined to have that seat, it shouldn't fucking matter what I do. I don't understand that whole concept. It's weird to me. It's just weird. And
there are more than 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses, though.
Yeah.
Well, how many Jehovah's Witnesses done died before you? Like, dude, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that makes it worse. So, like, it might have. How you know they ain't met the quota yet? They might have met that quota. Now what? Y'all all just out here shunning your family members and shit for no reason, because you already ain't getting a seat because they out.
You shimmying and shit with your little suitcase going into heaven. Hell yeah. Got past the gates. And you get there and be like, we're at capacity. Wait a minute. Whoa. What that mean? What that mean, nigga? Am I going to hell? No. We gonna reincarnate you. You going back to Earth.
They don't believe in reincarnation.
Who?
Jehovah's Witness.
They don't know what the fuck is up there.
But I mean, if it's only so many seats, the best you could hope for, I would think, would be purgatory.
Well, what I'm saying is, what you're saying is that's based on the concept that the Jehovah's Witness is right.
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying is they're gonna get to heaven and they're gonna realize it is 144,000 seats, and you don't have one. But other shit is real too. Like, reincarnation is a thing. So when the seats is full, like, if the seats weren't full, your ass would have definitely got in heaven. But because the seats was full, we go to the second tier faith to get you back on Earth. Maybe next time when you come up here to see. And then how do the seats get empty? Like, are all the Jehovah's Witnesses?
But that's what I'm saying. They
capacity
don't.
for eternity.
Because it's for eternity. So, like, I don't know. Again, it don't make no sense to me. And one of the issues that I've always had with having clients that are Jehovah's Witnesses is that their family dynamics be so fucked up, because again, they have family members that they're not allowed to. Like, it could be your fucking child, okay? You're expected to shun the fuck out of your kid. And it could be a teenager. You are expected to shun them. That is crazy.
I'm gonna do you one better or worse. My uncle, he spent 5 or 6 years in Egypt. So when he left the military, when he retired from the military, he went over to Egypt to do civilian work.
Okay.
And he said there was so many things that was so culturally different that several things almost got him fucked up. So one of the things that he said was when one of his first nights there, he was living in kind of like a palace. It was like a rundown palace, but it was a room, and he didn't have any bed sheets. And they told him that if he needed anything from the lady, to ask the lady for anything. And he asked the lady for some bed sheets. To their culture, that translated to him asking her for sex.
What?
So he said all the men came up into the palace, was like, what's going? He was like, wait, I just asked her for some sheets. And then he said, men do not ask women for anything related to the bedroom. See, that's one thing. So he said, this is when I realized shit is just fucked up. And so he said that, like, he just living, trying to stay away from this shit because he's trying to get used to their cultural norms and shit.
Yeah.
He said that he saw this family. He saw this little boy. Well, first off, he said he was going in the grocery store, and little boys would come and ask him for groceries, and
What?
They just have beggars out there like Aladdin. Goddamn, that's I mean that's his story. He was a beggar. That's how they got out there. Like it's a lot of people who can't afford shit. So a lot of kids steal. A lot of kids ask people for shit. But the people that live over there don't. You're gonna die soon. I ain't giving you my groceries. Like
God
you
damn.
already starving.
It's harsh.
So my uncle was like, here you go. Give him something. And he said the dude at the counter looked at him and said, did his finger wagged his finger back and forth at him, and my uncle didn't know what was going on, so he left. My uncle said every single time after that, it was about 20 kids behind him at the store.
God damn.
Trying to get some groceries from him, and clearly he couldn't help nobody. Yeah. So at that point, he just stopped helping everybody because that's that cultural shit. The cultural dynamics in that region indicate that you just don't help the people there because it's gonna cost you something else.
Damn.
And so, but he said that he eventually saw a kid walking with groceries and stuff, and so he gave the kid a ride to his home. He was like, when I tell you that this family was doing better than a lot of the families out there, and they had a little hut home where the ground was just the ground, the floor was just the ground, just dirt. And the bathroom was just a hole dug into the dirt.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
And the dad was helping understand some of those different cultural dynamics because they built the relationship where my uncle could ask about that stuff. And my uncle said, they told me that if their daughter got pregnant, if they found out at the table today that the daughter was pregnant, they would take her to the back and kill her.
God damn.
The daddy knew that.
Jesus.
The mama knew that. And the daughters knew that. It was 2 daughters. They accepted that too. They knew that if they did that, they would be murdered. And it wouldn't even be frowned upon because that's just a part of their cultural norm. It wouldn't even be frowned upon from anybody in the community. Mom and dad wouldn't have been sad because the shame that come along with finding that out is not worth just not killing your daughter at this point. But that's built into that cultural dynamic. Just like that's built into the culture of Jehovah's Witnesses. If you've been born a Jehovah's Witnesses and that's all you know, everything in the faith is normal.
But I think, so it is. But for the people who get shunned, because I've had, when I was living in Montgomery, I did have who got shunned from her family, and so the issues that she was having was from being yanked out of that and not having that support anymore. And so then from a therapist standpoint, it's like you have to reconcile that the religion and that this is just kind of what it is with the issues that this person is having, because then her whole family can't fuck with her now. So she gotta find support in other places because she not gonna. And when you shun, I don't think it's a unshunning. I think that shit is just what it is. I don't know that you can come back.
But how much do you really value your faith if something that happens in the dark that does implicate issues in faith, you're just happy that nobody found out about it though?
Yeah.
How valuable is your faith really to you?
Yeah.
Because
I thought it was fucked up.
But that's how he was saying. My uncle was talking about how important religion is to them. He was really going on a racist tirade, to be honest, about how, because of how bad it is over there, he don't believe that Muslims over here that have not converted to Christianity can actually be Americanized or whatever. So he had a racist tirade that led me to all this information. But over there, that's how strong their faith is. Their faith is strong enough where if this happened, we're gonna take you out back and kill you. But see, over here, if you fuck up in your faith, we just gonna hide it from the faith. Even though the one of the core beliefs in faith is that some all-seeing deity already know that shit happening. So
yeah, and I mean it was a teenager that got pregnant and had the miscarriage, and so it's like the impact that's gonna have on that child, because one, they not finna get her no help for it because they don't want nobody to know, because they just grateful that the shit worked out where they not gonna have to shun her ass now. So she gonna have to deal with losing a baby at a young age, and the fact that everybody around her is happy that she lost the baby, and she might be happy herself and may feel guilty about it. I don't even know. It's just that whole like they don't celebrate nothing. Like, it's just weird. That whole religion has always been very weird to me. And anytime I've come into contact with people within it, it's usually some shit that's like, really? I mean, okay. But that was completely off of the subject of Core and them. But that just talking about religion made me think about that, because I had a conversation with the mother this week, and I was just like, I don't even know what the fuck to do with this without, because you know, you have to respect people's cultural differences and their religion, but at the same time, as a therapist trying to help, it's like trying to navigate and toe that line is hard. So without, you know, infringing upon their right to believe what they believe and working within them parameters, it's difficult. But Cora and Brown can make all the love making music they want to. I ain't gonna I listened to it a little bit so I could like talk about it, but it's mediocre. It's not even nothing to mention about.
It ain't love making music, just music. Any music is love making music if you're having sex while it's playing.
I get, and none of them are even slow enough. Like, they're like these up tempo R&B songs is what it is. Like, it's not like, I don't know, it's weird.
Maybe they did research into making the tempo for it.
Maybe
they took a per hour count of Brown strokes.
Oh, gee, go to your next story. Sure. I'm
just saying, maybe it's catered to
That's
their
disgusting.
specific sex style. What's disgusting about it?
I don't want to think about Brown stroking nobody. It's gross. Ew.
I'm just saying.
Ugh.
You can't pretend that people you don't want to know
yes,
have sex
I do it all
when
the
they have
time.
sex.
I do it all the fucking time. As far as I'm concerned, my parents, the last time they ever had sex with each other was when William was conceived. Whether that's true or not, I don't really care. That's what I need to get me through the day. So I can absolutely pretend that. Mm-hmm. Do it all the time. All the time.
Maybe they didn't even have sex.
I don't want to know where this is going. Next story. I'm not even going to open that door.
What?
No, I don't want to know. I'm good.
Let me just say this, okay?
No.
I'm not going to put your family in it, but...
I don't know, because I know that you're applying it to them, and now you're just not talking about it in reference to them specifically. Do you really think you can stop me from saying what I'm finna say? No, but I feel like we should just go on to the next story.
Look, I'm just saying that Scrubs, one of my favorite shows ever, it notably got horrible later on in the 6th, 7th season. And JD had a child with another person, but they didn't have sex. He just kind of like shot the rocket off in the vicinity, and somehow it happened. It's low percentage chance that happens. Did you know that?
What's your next story?
What's your next story? Happens.
What?
It happens.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I think you were gonna talk about. I'm trying to not.
I was gonna get you to go ahead and talk about it if you were gonna talk about it.
The dreads.
Yeah,
we can talk about it. So there is a video going around of a kid, a high school wrestler, Andre Johnson, who is getting ready to perform in a wrestling match.
Andrew.
What'd I say?
Andre.
Oh, why did I say Andre? Andrew Johnson. And a ref made him cut his locks off before he was able to participate. And so, of course, people are outraged. Now, what made me mad was that there were people saying, oh, y'all just don't know anything about wrestling. Your hair has to be this certain length. Okay. But did nobody not know that prior to? I mean, this was like on the floor. He finna walk out and wrestle this nigga. Like, this is on the floor where they cut his hair in front of everybody that's present at this wrestling match. So if it was a case of his hair was like not regulation, this shouldn't have been the time at which this shit was taken care of. Like, he was told he couldn't wrestle this match unless he cut his hair. So they right there on the side of the floor, or the mat, I don't know what it's called, the mat,
I would say that.
On the side of that, cut his hair, and then he went and immediately wrestled and won. But he didn't even look happy about the shit because I'm sure in his mind, my hair gonna look stupid as fuck because they didn't. It ain't cut in a style. They just chopped the shit off, and he just went out on the floor and wrestled.
And from my understanding, he had
The cap.
no, he had this wasn't his first match. Like this was like one of the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So the question has been, how did he get to this point with no other ref pointing this out?
Mm-hmm.
For this ref to point it out at the end? They also allow you to have a cover over your head. Why wasn't that cover enough?
Yeah.
And so the question being asked is, was race a factor in this?
Now, Sean King, who posted this video, apparently, I don't know the ref. The ref has had a history of some questionable racist shit or calls. So I don't know, because I don't know anything about the referee as to whether that is true. But let me tell you something. I have never been on like team sports. And one of the reasons is probably because I would be a horrible team player. Because they wouldn't have cut my fucking hair. I'd have been like, all right, I ain't wrestling then. Like, and I mean, again, it's this high pressure situation because you like finna step on the fucking floor and go wrestle. And the ref come over and say, not without cutting them locks off. So in that moment, you got to make a decision of cutting your hair off. And like I said, this ain't cutting no style. They just chopped his shit off so he could go and wrestle immediately after. I would have told him where he could go. And I guess that would have made me a bad team player. I don't know, but no. You not cutting my fucking hair?
That's been the nature of white America out here. The nature of white America has been to dictate how black people exist and hold them to it. And the way that this has been reported by those white outlets is, what a wonderful team player.
Oh, shit.
But what a wonderful team player means in this instance is a brown person got to sacrifice that which is important to them. Like, I just don't know. I don't know how white people feel about those trends that we have. I don't know if, because we already know that they looked at the afro as just rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't look at that shit as a natural way your fucking hair grow.
But it's white people with dreads. Like, they've taken part of it.
I'm talking about right now I'm just talking about the history.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at how a regular black person hair grow as a potential threat
Mm-hmm.
from the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it made it look like a black person growing out their hair is just rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how older white people must feel about shit like dreadlocks. Like, it don't seem like they believe that hair can have some kind of internal intrinsic meaning. And I think that's the biggest problem with cultural appropriation.
Which again don't make no sense for anybody that they feel like hair don't have no intrinsic meaning. When again in Christian religion, Samson and Delilah is a story from the Bible where all his shit was in his hair, and when she cut his hair off, it fucked him up. So I mean, I don't understand.
He might have been able to have some fun if he would have told her it was in his pubic hair.
I hate you so much sometimes.
Psych! It's this hair on my head.
So I mean, it's not like there's not text that they value in which it's been hair has played a role. I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, I think what we come to find with white culture. Well, I was finna say that's the problem with cultural appropriation when you have a white American culture that really has no grasp or hold on the cultural norms of their past. They can't conceptualize how a group like African Americans can have some kind of cultural hold on their past, because it's been important for us because kind of everything that's been stripped from us to a degree. So for black people, I can grow hair and have some like heavily intrinsic value to it. That's different than the Delilah shit because like that ain't rooted in a culture. White people look at themselves as individuals. They're afforded that capability in our society because they the ones that create all of the groups for everybody else. Like they've looked at like now they look at Latino as a group. You can't be an individual Latino to white people.
Yeah,
y'all all fucking the same shit. even though it's a vast number of differences. Same thing for black, same thing for Asian. Asians just all good at math and they the model minority to white people.
And they can't drive.
Yeah, they say that shit. I mean, they say all that shit.
Yeah.
Well, they don't, they don't talk about the, like, Fox News and all them outlets. They don't talk about the negative aspects of Asian culture because they're the model minority. They just want to say, if Asian cultures can do it and they're a minority, then why can't black people do it? Why can't Latinos do it? Why can't everybody else do it? So they don't really speak on the negative shit that come along with the negative stereotypes that come along with Asian culture, not necessarily that the shit is accurate.
And what's sad is that there are black people that have been acclimated to that as well because, when I decided to go natural, and even currently, okay, I've been looking for other jobs and been going on interviews, and I can't tell you how many times coworkers of mine who've known that I'm looking for other jobs will be like, well, are you going to straighten your hair? No, why would I do that? Like, now the color I can understand because, there are places where the color of my hair would be deemed unprofessional. I could accept that better than saying I need to straighten my hair to go on an interview in order for me to be taken seriously or really looked at like a candidate for this job. And I have black people tell me that shit all the time. Black women that are like, you gonna straighten your hair? No, I'm not. It's gonna be neat and orderly, but I'm not finna straighten this shit. First of all, it takes too goddamn long. I hardly ever straighten my hair. It's short, I'm growing it back out, but at its longest, this shit took forever for me to straighten. It ain't worth all of that when this is just what my hair look like. While fighting against nature is a lot harder than just accepting my hair for what it is and making it look neat in its rational state.
Nature, I put out a damn color in it.
That ain't fighting against nature. This is easy to do.
But it's still not what your hair naturally. So fighting against nature for you is determined about how difficult whatever it is that you're doing to do.
Yes. Because first of all, the color is a rinse. So every time I wash my hair, it looks like I killed somebody in my bathroom because the color rinses out. So that's like I just scrunch some color in my hair and that's it. To straighten my hair when it was at its longest was like a 3+ hour process. Because my hair is thick and I have a lot of it and it was long. And it was like, I felt like I was a fucking contortionist because I'm in the back trying to use the flat iron and like get it straight all the way down to the bottom and my hair was long. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was not finna do that because the way that I'm gonna be at work most of the time and the state that you're gonna see my hair in is this. But they were like, well, you got to get in the door first, so straighten it, then you can wear it how you want to when you get in there. And I can't accept that. And I don't know if my hair has ever stopped me from getting a job. It may have, it may have not. I don't know, but it's just not worth it to me. At this point, I don't feel like I need to acclimate. Now, the color, absolutely. If somebody told me I needed to change the color, it's too bright. It is a bright red. I can understand that. But, like, the state of my hair, this how I grow out. My hair is curly. It's white people with curly hair. Do people tell them to straighten their shit? No, because their curly looks different. But it's still curly hair. So, fuck that.
So a lot of people was like, where is his parents? What? Why his parents ain't step in? Mm-hmm. Like, clearly they weren't there because they would have had to step in and say something. And it was making me wonder if I had a kid that was 16 or 17-year-old, what would I do in that situation? And you know what? I don't think I would do anything.
As far as?
I think I would let him make whatever decision he wanted to make because he would be standing in the face of a lot of shit that I would have been trying to teach him. I would have been trying to teach him the value of being a team member and honoring your obligations. I would have been teaching him that his body is his and nobody can dictate what they do with it. You can do what you want with it. And I also would be teaching him to stand up in front of what he think is wrong and what may be racism. I don't think I would assert what I want him to choose in that. I feel like at the time that my kid is 1 or 2 years away from leaving my grasp, I would rather see what he's made of in that moment. And that kid, he showed a level of character that represents how much he valued the sport, how much he valued his team. I don't like it. I don't like that he was put in that situation.
That's what I would have went up to the fucking school about. That's what I was just gonna say. Like, I get what you're saying.
Like, don't get me wrong. Now, I wouldn't have like ran out there like, what y'all doing in his house? Like, I would have been like, okay, I'm taking notes because this motherfucking ref, if he don't get no consequences, he gonna get these hands. I'm gonna go up to this damn teacher or whoever cut his hair.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm gonna have problems with people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I teach I work with a lot of parents and I teach my parents. There is a certain point where it benefits you more to see what your child got than it is to continue to intervene until your child is gone, so that you have no idea what kind of decisions they're gonna be making out there in the world.
I commend him for that. As a parent, though, like, I wouldn't have ran out on the floor. Oh, but the hell I would have raised after that motherfucking match, because I would have been glad that he was able to keep his composure, because, you know, as a black young man in America, he gonna get tested and tried a whole lot. But I also would have been super pissed for them to put him in that situation where, what other option did he really have? I mean, he could have showed his ass and he could have, but even that is like gonna be looked at differently because he's a black kid, and so it isn't gonna be looked like him getting upset at something that was unjust. It's gonna be he a bad team player, like all of that other shit that if he was a white kid wouldn't get said. And so for me as a parent, it's like, yes, this helped to show the character that he has in his character building, but it's so fucking, that's such a terrible position. Like, he was about to step out on the floor and they just stepped up to him and was like, you gotta cut your hair, you can't go out there. Like, that is such a fucking
I feel like as a parent, if I were to do that, it would be one of the hardest things you have to do in your parenting situation.
To sit and watch him get his hair cut.
I feel like I'd go talk to him. I feel like I'd go talk to him.
Because he was upset. He was visibly at the end of that match. He wasn't even happy about the win. Like, he was visibly upset.
I feel like I let him know whatever decision you make, I support you. Whether it's to cut your hair right here, right now, whether it's to, you know, tell your teammates that there's something that you can't do at the moment.
Would you have even had, I guess because it's a tape and it may have been cut down. It looked like it happened so fast that even if his parents were there, by the time you realize that this is what's going, because at first it just looked like they having conversation, and then it's somebody that come up with some scissors and start cutting the fucking hair. Like, it looked like it happened so fast that I don't even know that you would have had time to go tell him what to have a conversation about what his decision was going to be, because it looked like it happened so fast that as a parent in the stands, you're not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they was just talking about whatever. Like, it didn't look like they were having a conversation about his hair till old girl came up and started cutting. It just happened so fucking fast. Like, even if his parents very well could have been there. I feel like it just, again, if you were sitting up in the stands from a distance and see this, you don't know what they're talking about until you see white lady come chopping his fucking hair off, and then right after that he walked out on the floor. Like, it happened quick.
The thing is, I don't think that they're going to come to determine that race was a factor.
No, they won't.
Just because white America is so blind to what constitutes race being a factor in America. The reality is, race is a factor in everything. You know, and you got an old white man telling this little black kid you got to cut your hair. When, what is it about it? What length would his hair have to have looked like to be acceptable? Because you can't tell me that all the white kids in there had short ass haircuts.
Somebody in the comments that was saying, "Oh, y'all don't understand wrestling." They said it can't be below your ears. So, like, it has to be above your. The cut has to be above your ear.
So the picture that we saw, was that like at the end of the cut or something? Because it don't look like his dreads had hang time. You can tell by how his hair, the foundation of his hair was set up. It don't look like his shit had hang time. You can tell when dreads have hang time. It looked like his dreads would have linked to where they was sticking up and back, maybe. But like, either way, don't nobody give a fuck about, like, how come nobody in his whole wrestling career has said that his hair was a problem. Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It wasn't.
it don't look like it got no hang time, do it?
No.
You could tell dreads that had hang time before, and if it don't have hang time, it wasn't lower than your ears or your shoulder to your shoulders.
Trying to make sure it wasn't in a ponytail. I'm looking at the video because I didn't have a picture. I had like the video of it. That's why I'm saying it looked like it happened so quickly because they had a conversation. Lady came up, cut it, and he went out on the floor. It happened super fast, but it's hard to tell. It looked like it could have maybe been in a ponytail.
The hair at the front to me looked like
No, the
it
hair at the
been
front
long enough to have be in
it
a
wasn't.
ponytail.
I think it's just he might be have started them, and there's sometimes they grow at different rates. I don't know. It wasn't anything that was gonna get caught up in this wrestling shit for sure.
I feel like that's a stupid rule because if you choose to have long hair as a wrestler, it only seeks to put you at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like if you bald headed, clearly that'll never be a hang up. But if just in a move your hair get caught in something and it get pulled and it throw you off your game, like I feel like that should be a risk that you're willing to take if you want to take it.
And they had a caps. You can cover your hair up. They have caps. Just put it under a cap. You know what I'm saying? Like
But they're not gonna find that it's anything to do with race. Like I said, if in order for white people to say that race had something to do with it, then the ref would have said, "I need you to cut your hair before this match, nigga."
And it's just a bunch of.
And if he didn't say it like that, then
watch this video. It's like a bunch of white, like in the crowd, in the stands, is a bunch of white folks. Like,
and his teammates they clearly see how angry he is. And
Cause
they got people
coming
giving
up,
him high fives and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
and again, no styling. She just chopping his hair, and he go out on the floor and wrestle.
it's garbage, man.
And then you can see at the end of the match when he walking on, he looks upset. Because he know his hair look fucked up now, I'm sure. Because again, this wasn't being cut into a style. This was like on the spur of the moment, right before he go out on the floor, chopping up his hair off.
And this plays to a dynamic too, because if you look at him walking back to his team, it's like another light-skinned black dude and him as the light-skinned black dude. So I feel like it's clear that like he gonna be the minority in most of these situations. I can just imagine how many of these shitty situations they dealing with. Cause
like what I have never. Do any of the schools in Jefferson County have wrestling teams?
Not. I think so. Yes.
Who has like Hoover?
Well, between Shelby and Jefferson, somebody got a wrestling team.
I feel like it's gonna be schools like Hoover or
I don't know.
Like I feel like
I don't remember which ones, but there are schools around that have wrestling teams.
But I feel like Woodlawn or somewhere like that ain't gonna have no wrestling team.
Well, that's because the government that took over most of them schools. They don't have very many extracurriculars. Period.
Yeah. I just that's just I feel bad for him.
At least one other wrestling referee attempted to defend Wednesday's ruling, although he noted he had not seen the video in question.
Well, what the fuck is you talking about, bro?
That's just that racist America shit. Like, I don't gotta see it. He did right. It's just like that police shit. Like, I know he did right, but what if he did wrong, motherfucker? Like, it costs something for the person that they did wrong to. You can't just assume people are going to do right because of the positions that they hold. Some people hold positions and fuck them off and do wrong at the end of the day.
I was trying to look at these little white kids had him when he walked in the crowd, see if anybody had a little long. Cause and like all the white people in the stands is clapping, and it just irritates me. This video irritates me. I just want to slap all of them. Like, fuck y'all. And as a parent, I don't even know.
Whatever.
Fuck them, man.
We gotta go. We in too deep.
Okay.
But I was gonna talk about Epic and all these lawsuits coming from them stealing the dances.
Oh yeah, Carlton, Millie Rock,
Backpack Kid, Millie Rock, Shoot, JB Block Boy, all these different people.
Mm-hmm.
Drop It Like It's Hot, like all these different dances. They taking a lot of this creative material from black people and making billions of dollars or some of the billions of dollars off of it. And the question becomes, how can the creative property of these black people how can you get compensation from that?
I mean, you can trademark it, like Carlton.
Now, this is the problem. There's rules in how you trademark it. You can trademark a whole choreographed scene, but there's a limited amount of moves that can't be. So when you talk about Millie rocking, it don't have enough moves to be able to trademark it.
Well, I mean, Carlton had the same, because his is just really the
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Probably that dance from Scrubs that Turk did. You remember that dance? The Poison to Poison. He did that dance. That's on there frame by frame. He probably could do that one, but then again, I don't know if that was his dance or somebody else's dance that he did. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just crazy when you can be synonymous. Like, it don't have a lot of move, but when you see the Carlton dance, you know it's the Carlton
exactly
dance.
what it is.
When you see the Millie Rock, you know what the fuck that is. Even the Backpack Kids dance, and I can't even do that shit, but when I see it, I know it's the Backpack Kid dance. Like,
this is going to what it's going to do is it's going to create a whole new way that they handle creative property in this sense, because they're using stuff that traditionally could never get money for. Like, we talking about shit like, imagine, like, people would love to have been able to use like the Cabbage Patch and the butterfly and all that other shit. Like, dances, this kind of creative shit been around for a long time.
do we even know who came up with them shits? Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure the people back then know exactly who came up with it. That was just butterfly.
Electric Slide. Yeah, even back for Electric Slide.
But
like,
Electric Slide, it would seem to be a whole choreographed thing. It got enough moves to actually trademark it as what it is, the Electric Slide.
So is it the people that made the song came up with it then? Like,
I have no idea. But I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about this border wall funding. What that has now made $14.2 million.
I know white people been raising money. I was gonna talk about the man who tried to go cash his check, and they called the police on him at the bank. I was like, what? Really? He can't cash his check. Y'all called the police on him for that shit, bruh. All right.
So the ladders to get over Trump's wall campaign is at $121,000. Hate just have more money
Oh yeah.
than acceptance all day long. That's just gonna be a problem.
Well, and I feel like a lot of time the people that hate have more money. Like, I feel like the people who would donate to the ladders for the wall are gonna be people who don't have a lot of money to donate to the shit.
People on the wall one are putting in $10,000 and
yeah,
shit. Like,
they got the money to do that. Yeah, hateful ass people have money.
But anyway, we've hit the limit.
You already got your cough syrup.
I know. Yeah, I don't like being sick.
I mean, who does?
Anyway, what else you got on your mind? You got anything else on your mind?
Nah, Merry Christmas, because it'll be Christmas Day when this come out.
Yep. Merry Christmas, people. And until we come to the next conversation,
we out.
holla.